Okay, this is going to be a fairly brief video talking about drop D tuning. Drop D is probably the easiest entry into alternate tunings on the guitar. So if you want to dip your toe into alternate tunings, it's a good place to start. It just involves tuning the 6th string down a whole step from E to D, which sounds like this. The benefit of this is it gives you an extended tonal range. It also has its own resonance different to standard tuning. It's good, for instance, for providing that kind of drone sound, which is why it's used a lot in Celtic music as well as blues and general folk. So the 6th is just tuned down, so it's an octave below the 4th string. It takes a little bit of adjustment, as you obviously need to refinger some of your chords if you're using the 6th string. Obviously it's suited to playing in the key of D or D minor, although you can of course play in any other key. If you're playing in D, the 3 principal chords in that key are D, G and A. So the D can obviously still be played up here at the top of the neck, and you've got the added advantage of that 6th string now being a low D. But just remember the 6th string has been tuned down, so you may, a whole step. So on the fretboard, that means everything's going to be 2 frets up. So you need to think everything up 2 frets. So I'm going to show you a chord shape which you can move around the neck, which is quite useful for playing those 3 chords. This is going to be this shape. So the 3rd finger is on the 6th string 12th fret, which gives you a D, an octave up. The little finger is going to be on the 12th string, on the 12th fret, 4th string, giving you another D. The 2nd finger is going to be on the 3rd string, 11th fret, and the 1st finger is going to be on the 2nd string, on the 10th fret. So dampen the 5th with your 3rd finger. Now you've got an open top string. Sometimes it sounds nice to play that with the chord, because in this case it gives you what does it give you? A D add 9, that E. So that sounds quite good. Gives you a bit of added spice to that chord. If you want to then go to the G, you just move this shape back so the 3rd finger is now on the 5th fret, and that gives you a G. And again, the top string will make it a G6. If you move that all up 2 frets, so the 3rd finger is now on the 7th fret, that's going to give you an A. So you can just play rhythm just to get used to these chords, and moving them around, So it gives you a particular kind of sound on that D that you wouldn't get from a standard tuning. I think it's best suited to fingerstyle, and the 3 pieces I'm going to show you are all use this rocking bass or alternating bass, thumb bass, used in a lot of blues, ragtime, folk, fingerstyle playing. If you have to have that perfected or practiced to play these 3 pieces. So if you're rusty on that, spend a bit of time just ingraining that into your brain and into your thumb. The first piece, just mark piece number 1 on the tab, which is you can download for free below, uses those chords I just showed you, those chord shapes, D, well, it uses D up here, D, G and A. It also uses what's known as a secondary dominant, which is going to be an E chord in this case, which you get with the first finger on the second fret, 4th string, third finger on the 3rd string, 4th fret, and the little finger on the 5th fret, 2nd string, which gives you a double up on the top string, E. Okay, so it's an E chord without any third. That acts as a what's called a secondary dominant. So it's not a chord in the key of D, but it leads very nicely into the A chord because it's the dominant chord in the key of A. So it naturally pulls towards that chord. Okay, so I'll try and play this piece slowly. It also uses thirds on the top 2 strings. So it's just a study really to get used to the finger style, technique, and the moving, using some of these new chord shapes. Middle part, you go to the G, and there's a pull off from the little finger to the first finger on the 2nd string, and another pull off on the top string again, and then the secondary dominant to the A. Repeat the top part. Okay, I'll play that again, slightly speed it up. Okay, the second piece, piece number 2 in the tab, is more of just a straightforward 12-bar blues using all dominant 7th chord shapes. So this involves a new shape up here. So you've got the 2nd finger on the 12th fret on the 6th string, the 1st finger on the 3rd string 11th fret, and the little finger up here on the 2nd string 13th fret. So that's giving you a D dominant 7th. You can alternate on the 2nd string between the 4th finger and the 3rd. So that's going from like a 6, the 3rd finger can be down on the 12th fret, and you got that 6th to 7th like this. That kind of sound. So you got. Okay, and again we're going to use the alternating thumb. When you change chords, you take that shape again and move it up to where your 2nd finger is playing the G on the 5th fret, and then for chord 5 you move it up so your 2nd finger's on the 7th fret for the A7. Okay, so Okay, so have a go with that, see how you get on. And the third piece, just marked piece number 3 in the tab, is in fact an old blues, kind of gospel blues type thing with a cheery little title. It's called Death Comes Creeping. This is fairly easy to play, there's no particularly difficult finger shapes or anything. If you have that right hand thumb style down, that's the main technical challenge. It does involve a bend here, where you're playing, the first finger is on the 5th fret on the top string, and your second finger is pushing that a half step bend, pushing that second string up from the 6th fret. Okay, that's probably the most technically demanding thing about it, and it also uses this G shape that we've already played. Okay, so I'll play it through again, try and play it through quite slowly so you get an idea. You can play along with it with the tab. The bend. G shape. Okay. Alright, once more through, more up to speed. I'll try and sing a verse of it as well, as you can get an idea of how the lyrics go over the guitar part. Tell me what you gonna do when death comes creeping in your room. Tell me what you gonna do when death comes creeping in your room. Tell me what you gonna do when death comes creeping in your room. Oh my Lord, what shall I do? What shall I do?